guys, it's your girl DeeDee and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another thought for today. Now, I know I talk about this a lot of times and I talk about how delusional women are and how delusional they can be, but I just want to emphasize that there are some, not all women, there are still some women out here who think that they have so many options. And I know it can be offensive to some women because they think that, when you hear that, oh, as you get older, you have less options. And a lot of women don't like that, but it is the reality in which we live in. It's just the way the world is. There's no way around it. It is what it is. You got to start understanding that, listen, as you get older, your value goes down. And when I say your value goes down, it's not in your personal value. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're useless. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means when it comes to dating, if you are looking for the best man out there and you want to build something with him, the older you get, the options become a lot less. It's just what it is. It doesn't take anything away from who you are as a person. It specifically means in the dating pool, the type of man that you wants something else. And I know a lot of people, a lot of women like to shame men because of that, or think that it's unfair and it's crazy, but it is what it is. It's not going to change. Just like women refuse to settle for certain things, men are refusing to settle for certain things as well. So you got to understand, if you're really trying to get somewhere, if you prioritize your careers early on, then understand that your personal life is going to suffer. Understand that your relationship and family life is going to suffer. That's just what it is. If you prioritize your career and go college and you going that route and that's what you're focused on and you're not worried about prioritizing marriage and family, then that may suffer. It's just what it is. And so you got to understand, what is it that you want the most? And if your idea of a great life is career, single life, living it up, traveling, doing all that, then that's perfectly fine if that's what you want. But understand, if you do want kids, it's going to be more difficult for you to have that family life as you get older. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's going to be more difficult. And I always say, listen, it is always better to prioritize family and kids when you're younger, marriage, all of that. That way you get that out of the way and you could always still pursue a career or your passions or things that you're into after that. I say it all the time. I am a living witness of that. Got married young, had my kids, and now I'm on the other side of things. And so you can have what you want, but you just can't have it all at one time. And you got to prioritize the thing that you want first, understanding what you might be sacrificing. That's all everyone's been saying. And I think a lot of people go against that is because they didn't choose it the right way. And they're actually living it out, but refuse to accept the inevitable. So you got to understand, you're in your best fertility days when you're in your 20s. As you get older, that starts to dwindle. That's just what it is. So it's going to be more difficult to have children later on in life. And it may be even difficult to get married later on in life. Not impossible, but more difficult. And I think women get confused by this and they get angry about it, but it is just the cycle of life. It is what it is. It's biology and you can't change it. It's not a shade on you. It's just the nature and the reality of life, that as you get older, your dating options become a lot more slimmer as opposed to when you're younger. And if you even think about it, when you were younger, you got all the attention, you had more guys coming after you, even some people have been proposed to in life. You had men who wanted to marry you, but a lot of women aren't ready for that at the time because they think they have time. You think that you have a lot of options, so you can weigh your options and you can take your time. But baby, that time sneak up on you. And when you look around, you're 25, look around, you're 35, you're 45, you're 55. And now you're still looking for the same thing and it's not happening the way you thought it would. And that's what the whole hitting the wall came from, because women get to the late 30s and 40s and now they're ready for marriage, commitment, and families. And it's really not knocking at your door. And so in order to try to avoid that, because look, we don't know what, nothing's promised in life. So you don't know what kind of cards you're going to be dealt. But if you want the best options and the best chances of getting what you want, I always recommend prioritizing family and marriage when you're young. Stop thinking that you have this infinite amount of time and you really don't. Stop thinking that you're going to have that same 25-year-old body, when you get 45. Now, you can look good older. Of course, you take care of yourself. But all I'm saying is you have to be more mindful of what it is that you want. I'm not knocking anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur or want to have a business life, or you want to have that career, but understand there are some things that you're going to forego or sacrifice if you choose that career life early on. You may forego marriage. You may forego children if you don't have any children already. And that's just the consequences of choosing your career first. But you can actually have both. There are many other people in other races that do it all. They get married young while they're in college. They create their family and they still have careers. So you can have both. I don't know why in the Black community we've been given this idea that, oh, you can have one or the other. You can't prioritize marriage young and still have a family and a career. Other races of people do it all the time. They're married, they started young, they have businesses together, but they do it together. You can do it, but you gotta know what you want. If you're out here trying to be for the streets and you just want to sow your wild oats and you want to go out here and be promiscuous and you just thinking that that's where it's at, that's how you set yourself up for failure. The only other reason I can think of you not wanting to get married young is the fact that you want to be for the streets, that you want to be outside. You think that you have all these options, and nothing really good ever comes from that. You usually end up a single mother, a statistic. You usually end up by yourself. You usually end up running your body count up. And then by the time you get to the age where you think it's time for you to settle down, there's nobody who wants to settle down with you. So I'm offering a different perspective. Hey, you don't have to do it like that. Prioritize marriage and family when you're young. Commit to that person. You guys build a life together, and then you can have the best of both worlds, in my opinion. So that's all I'm saying. Think about it, try it. But if you're thinking go out here, have your fun in your 20s like we were told growing up, and then you get married when you're ready, most women are having a difficult time with that, because what you got to realize is that you do not control access to marriage. The men do. But you do control access to your body. And I would say it would be better to keep your body sacred when you're younger, prioritize a relationship and a marriage, build your family, build with that man, and that way you will have an abundance later in life, as opposed to going out, living it up, having your fun, riding that, raising that body count, thinking that you're gonna just when you choose to get married, it's gonna happen. That's a mistake a lot of women have made, and we see it being displayed all over social media and in real life. And this is where a lot of women get stuck, and now they're in a position to where they don't know if they're gonna either have a family, get married, or have a man in general, because they've wasted a lot of time and it didn't turn out the way they thought it was going to turn out. So that's my thought for today. Hopefully you can learn something from that. Comment, like, subscribe in the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.